Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Friday, October 25th, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. The GFS model is showing heavy snow across the U.S. through the middle of November, a November to remember. Also, the podcast of the century, Joe Rogan and Donald Trump. We've got the link. It's still unlisted. But if you stay tuned, we'll drop that for you in just a moment. Keep calm. It's boom time. After a warm weekend, mountain snow begins in Montana, as well as many areas in the West. I experienced the magic of fall and winter all at once in Flagstaff, Arizona, as early season snows pummel the desert Southwest. A cold storm to sweep through Utah as well, bringing rain and snow ahead of Halloween. It's going to be a spooky global warming goodness time. Two storms around Halloween forecast to potentially double Colorado's already above average snowpack, according to Whiteout Daily Snow Reports. And we have the full forecast coming now. Precipitation and gusty winds in the northwest, elevated fire weather in the northeast. A storm system continues to move across northwest, bringing rain and high elevation snow and gusty winds into the region. Elevated to locally critical fire weather conditions will continue across portions of southern New England and the mid-Atlantic, and as well as eastern Wyoming. Record heat continues in portions of the southern U.S., but that is going to quickly end as Indian summer is coming to a close. We've got frost and freeze warnings for northern Texas, as well as the panhandle of Oklahoma and a few other states. So heed the warnings and click on your county for more information and bring in those sensitive plants, as you will lose them. A quick look at the GFS model is showing, well, let's take a look. Here is Saturday. Sunday, fun day into early Monday morning. Heavy snow will be moving into the Pacific Northwest, specifically Washington State. A smattering of a light dusting of snow in the Northeast over the weekend. Through the week, we've got Monday into Tuesday. Heavy snow dropping down the Pacific as well as the Sierra Crest. Take a look at that. By Tuesday, we should see some totals in the Sierras as well as all of the states in the West where the Rocky Mountains exist. And it includes Arizona. And here we move through Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the end of the week. We've got another system that will bring a heavy dumping to the Rockies. And as we head on into next week, it's looking quite spectacular. We're far out on the models, but it's showing heavy snow for the Great Lakes region. Michigan being the big winner, chicken dinner. Seismic update. Interesting rumbler today, 4.5 in Stovepipe Wells, California. Normal activity there on a regular basis. Lots of aftershocks and lots of movement there. We'll just bring you into that cluster. We've got a quake down here and a group of quakes up to the north. Could be some interesting activity we may be discussing potentially in the future. Overall, normal activity worldwide. The biggest rumbler of 5.8 in Mexico. Brisa Bade de Suchiata. Wherever that is. Sounds more like Spain to me. It's insane. Here is worldwide volcano news for the day, the 25th of October. Ducono to 9,000 feet. Ibu to 8,000. Liwatobi puffing and passing. Popo to 24,000 foot today. Quite a significant eruption there. Sangay to 23,000 feet. Semaru, who knew? Now you do. Puffing and passing with a new eruption. Fuego to 15. Nevado de Ruiz, volcanic ash advisory there. Ducono to 9. Popo to 18,000. Nida Muragira. This volcano, Jesus, 13,000 foot blast there, and that is on the continent of Africa. Sangay to 20,000. Raventador, 14,000 foot puff. Santo Huito to 14,000 foot. Semaru, seismic activity continuing. Liwatobi to 8. Ducono to 9. Fuego to 15. Popo, a 32,000 foot blast, will make the headlines in the Mexico Daily Post in the morning. A significant volcanic ash emission to 32,000 feet. Haven't seen this for a couple of years. I'm sure we're going to get some video on that coming soon. Naya Muragira volcano in Africa. Magmatic activity is still intense. That seems to be an uptick today. Ibu, explosive activity continuing there to 8,000 foot. Semaru, 14,000 foot blast. Raventador to 15. Sangay to 20. Wow, what a list today. Wrapping it up as Ebu with an 8,000-foot puff. A quick look over at space weather is showing very little activity on the sun after the X 3.3 happened just about 48 hours ago. We're still waiting for the effects of that glancing blow tomorrow, October 26th. Sometime overnight, so this could be a chance for activity for aurora at high latitudes, not a low-level latitude event unless something changes and they got the modeling wrong. We've got a number of sunspots and sunspot groups that could be showing flare potential, but they're not doing anything. We've got some pinpricks up in the northern hemisphere and a large grouping that has turned around the limb, and some of them are growing. Yet none of them are flaring, which is good news for people on Earth that like technology and electricity. So we're keeping a close eye on the sun for you as we are at solar max and very low level activity, except for this moderate duration X flare days ago. The Dandelion Supernova has been revealed in 3D. Now, this may be one of the electric universe explosions which caused natives around the world to carve symbols onto rocks in the form of petroglyphs. For nearly 6 months during the year 1181, which was the peak of the so-called Anasazi and the Pueblo people in our region, people looked up to the skies to find a new star glittering in the constellation of Cassiopeia, a cluster they already were well aware of, and, well, any changes to that cluster would have been ground-shattering, literally. Chinese and Japanese astronomers recorded the rare event, as well as natives in North America, in the form of petroglyphs. An explosion of a star or supernova in the centuries since. Astronomers have searched for the remnant blast, but it was not until 2013 they were finally found as part of a citizen scientist project. Amateur astronomer Dana Patchik, who had sifted through images taken in the now retired Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer, or WISE, found a nebula at the site where the supernova has occurred. And it is believed that this nebula is the remnants of the explosion. Here is the 3D image of said supernova that was witnessed on Earth in 1181 and depicted in petroglyphs in the desert Southwest. Absolutely fascinating. We'll leave you links to all the articles below. Now, the UN is warning of a 3.1C global warming surprise. The only problem is this is fear-mongering. It's not based in facts, climatology, or anything. It's based on computer modeling and gobbledygook nonsense. The fact that they haven't gotten the memo in 30 years that CO2 doesn't cause temperature to rise, but is an after effect of rising temperatures, has everything to do with the fact that this is nothing more than propaganda and fear porn. They're talking about a 3.1C global warming surprise, and they show a firefighter that is lighting backburns on purpose. These aren't natural fires behind him. He lit them. It has nothing to do with the title. It has everything to do with fear porn, because low IQ people will read the title, see the picture, and get scared and have trouble sleeping. It's absolutely a tragedy what is happening with science. Tomorrow, Lee and I will break down something that could end the catastrophic global warming in an instant, and in fact, kill half of the population on Earth in a single year. That would be 4 billion deaths in 365 days. The 1257 Samalas eruption has only come to light in the last decade. No one knew about it, and what other eruptions do we not know about it? This eruption caused the darkening of skies on Earth for up to 2, maybe 3 years, and killed off the majority of the population in Europe, Asia, North America, all over the world. The eruption came at an equatorial region, which allowed stratospheric aerosols to penetrate the entire planet within a year. One of the largest aerosol spikes here at 1258 is after the 1257 eruption. It was located in the highest amounts in the Antarctic ice and a similar amount, just slightly less, up in Greenland. The largest sulfur spike ever in modern times. And Lee and I will break it down all tomorrow on the radio show, Revolution Radio, Studio B, noon Mountain Time. Go get it. We're going to replay it on Magnetic Reversal News, 8 p.m. on Saturday. Now, have you heard a federal judge is siding with the Biden-Harris and the Department of Justice and allowing Virginia to allow non-citizens to vote in a presidential election? This is against the Constitution and illegal, and I don't know how this is actually happening. But if you think about the term election fraud and the mainstream media says it isn't happening, it's the fairest and freest election, that couldn't be further from the truth when a federal judge is allowing non-citizens to vote in our presidential election. In fact, Virginia just reinstated 1,500 individuals who self-identify themselves as non-citizens. How is this possible? What is happening to our country? I hope we take it back. Now, anything can happen in the next few days as we are approaching the election here in America. Israel just launched strikes on military targets in Iran, and it appears as if World War III is heating up. And that means bad things coming. Please get out and vote for Donald Trump to save America, and watch the Joe Rogan podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience number 2219 with Donald Trump. We will link you below. The podcast is still unlisted. Let's take a look at, and we've got apparently a leak. And there is now 500,000 views in just 40 minutes. So go get it. And they've turned it now to listed. No, it's still unlisted. So they didn't want this podcast to go up until tomorrow at 1 p.m., but someone leaked the details. That means you and I get to watch it early before the rest of the sheeple. And if you want to survive and thrive in the coming times, get your order in now. Anytime now, we could be in World War III or a Black Swan event where the CIA just shuts down the internet to take control. It's up to you to take control of your preparedness. And what better way than to buy a My Patriot Supply pack of preparedness? You can get a 30-day, 90-day, 2-year, 1-year, 3-year supply of food. You can get cookers and water filtration and more, all on the site at high discounts. Thanks to the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. You can support our channel, support your preparedness, get the 9-pack sampler meal, get anything you can afford. Get it now. And be prepared, not scared. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video. We are shadow banned. That means that if you're not subscribed, there's no way you can find our channel. That's how nice these propagandists and money funders are. They really love you. Get out and vote. Watch the Joe Rogan podcast. We will have it up on our Twitter and link below. And be safe. We love you. Hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. Be safe. And that's a boom.